called from behind the counter. It was whispered directly behind your ear. You freeze. You turn. There's no one there. Just a guy 3 seats away with his earbuds in, and an elderly couple arguing over some expired form. You glance around. No reaction from anyone else. You shake it off. Stress. Delusion. One of those moments where you think you hear your name in white noise or the wind. Except this wasn't that, because the voice, whoever it belonged to, knew how your name sounded. Not how it's spelled. Not how teachers always mispronounced it on the first day of school. They said it the way your grandmother used to say it, with that rising tone at the end. Like it was a question. Like it was yours. You try to shrug it off. You go back to scrolling. Your number gets called 20 minutes later. You head to the counter smiling politely. You answer all the usual questions. Hand over your old ID. Sign the screen. And the clerk bored chewing gum frowns at the monitor. Your record says, name pending update. You blink. What? Just need to confirm. Can you spell your full legal name for me? You do. Carefully. Slowly. Like you're being tested. They type. Hit enter. Shake their head. Not finding a match. Weird. She calls a supervisor. They whisper. Look at your photo. At your paperwork. You feel the air shift. You feel like a puzzle piece that doesn't fit anymore. Then he walks in. You don't notice him at first. He's quiet, unassuming. No clipboard. No badge. But when he moves, people step aside. He's pale. Not sickly smooth. Like wax or paper or plastic. His hair is black and combed in perfect waves. His eyes are gray, but not the usual kind of gray. Reflective. Like the inside of a spoon. And he's looking at you, not suspiciously, not curiously, hungrily. He walks past the counters, past the velvet ropes, stops just behind the clerk helping you. She doesn't notice him. No one does, except you. He reaches into his coat, brown and long and old-fashioned, almost like a museum piece, and pulls out a clipboard. He turns it towards you. You see a list of names. They're handwritten. Hundreds of them. The ink is faded at the top, but fresh at the bottom. You don't recognize any of them. Except one. Yours. Right at the bottom. Still wet. You stumble back. The man tilts his head. Just a fraction. His lips don't move. But in your head, you hear your name again. Twice. Once as a greeting. Once like a bite. You blink and he's gone. The clerk hands your ID back. Got it to work. Somehow, she mumbles, not looking at you. System glitch, I guess. You don't look at the ID right away. You don't want to. You just walk outside, into the sun. You sit in your car, and finally, you pull the card from your wallet. It's your face, but beneath it, your name is spelled wrong. Not a typo. Not your name at all. You stare at the name. It's not just close to yours. It's adjacent. Like someone described your name to a stranger from memory, and they got the consonants right, but none of the shape. Familiar, but hollow. Like an echo of something that used to be you. You whisper it aloud. Just to hear how it sounds. It tastes wrong. It's like trying to pronounce a foreign word that wants to bite back. You flip the ID over. Nothing unusual on the back. No note, no mark, no hidden message. But there's a date printed faintly under the magnetic strip. Not your birthday. A date 4 days from now. Your skin prickles. You check your phone thinking maybe the ID printer bugged out. A software glitch, a corrupted record something. But you already know that's not it. Because when you try identification. No contact name, just a voicemail. You play it on speaker. The voice is calm. Even. Yours, but older. Congratulations, it says. You were the first to notice. Most don't, not until they're gone. Gone where? Your breath fogs the screen. Even though it shouldn't, I met him too. The voice says, at the DMV of all places. Don't look for him. That's how he finds you again. There's a long silence, and then he doesn't take your body. He takes your name. That's enough. That's everything. You delete the voicemail, and then your phone buzzes again. Another message, but this time. Don't the voice. It's a video. You press play. The screen shows your apartment. From inside. Shot from the corner. From above. As though someone was standing on the ceiling. Or floating. You see yourself just now walking in. Pausing. Looking around. It's a perfect loop of your entrance replaying in silence. Until halfway through the loop changes. You're no longer alone. He's standing behind you. Just over your shoulder. The clipboard in one hand. The other hand brushing the air near your neck. You pause the video, heart slamming against your ribs. Your reflection in the TV screen shows you, alone. But for just a second, you think you see a second silhouette flicker at your side. You turn fast. Nothing. But the clipboard. You smell old paper, like something left in a drawer for decades. Historians still argue whether names in early civilizations were spiritual anchors or protective wards. In ancient Egypt, it was believed a person died 2 deaths once, when the body failed, and once when their name was spoken for the last time. Some argue names were not identifiers, but bindings. To speak a true name was to own it. You don't sleep that night. Instead, you try to write your name over and over. You fill 3 notebook pages with variations. By the end of the night, you're no longer sure which one is real. You wake up the next morning with ink on your fingers and one name written neatly on your palm, the wrong one. Your phone's is a single text from an unknown number. That name suits you better anyway. You don't respond to the text. You delete it, then block the number just to feel like you're doing something, anything, to take control back. But it doesn't help, because when you go to your contacts list again, your own number has been renamed. Not just once. Every saved version, work, family, friends has been updated to unknown caller. You try calling someone, your brother maybe, or that friend who always answers on the 3rd ring. The line picks up, but it's not them. It's a recording of your voice, reading a list of names, all in your tone, all unfamiliar, except one, yours, the real one. It cuts off mid-syllable. You hang up, hands shaking. You open your laptop. It boots up, this time no password, but the home page isn't your actual browser. It's a document, titled simply Return, inside a single paragraph. The man who eats names. Walks where bureaucracy thins. He waits at Edge's post offices, DMV's waiting rooms. He finds the ones who speak their own names too often. He is not malicious. He is hungry. You are remembered because of the mouth that shapes you. When that stops, so do you. You close the file, delete it, but it returns 5 minutes later. Same paragraph, this time signed at the bottom. You version 3. That night, you dream of a long hallway, filing cabinets on both sides. No ceiling. The drawers rattle opening and closing as you pass like mouths whispering. You stop at one that looks familiar. You open it. Inside, Polaroids of people, hundreds, all with name tags, the kind you get at conferences. Only most of the name tags have been scratched out. On the farthest photo, it's you. But instead of your face, there's a blank space. Like the photo never finished developing. You wake up gasping, but the taste of old paper lingers on your tongue. The next morning, you test something. You stand in front of the bathroom mirror and say your name out loud 5 times. Each time your voice gets thinner, the sound warbles, the light flickers slightly. On the 6th try, your reflection mouths something else, a name you've never heard before. You stop, back away. The mirror fogs in the center, a perfect circle like a breath only you didn't exhale. You grab a towel, wipe it down, but your reflection is still fogged. Not the mirror, just you. Your outline is there, but your features smudged, as if someone started erasing you from a photograph. You run to your bedroom, check old yearbooks, photos, birthday cards, anything with your name written down. They're all blank now, not erased, never written. You find a copy of your college diploma. It says to whom it may concern. You visit your childhood home, out of desperation. Your parents still live there, hopefully. You knock. Wait. Your mother opens the door. She frowns. Polite confusion. You smile. Say your name. Her frown deepens. I'm sorry. She says, have we met? You laugh, assuming it's a joke. It's me, Mom. Come on. Her smile tightens. Uneasy. She calls your father. He doesn't recognize you either. They invite you in anyway. Kindness layered over discomfort. You walk through the house. Photos line the walls. Family portraits. Vacations. Birthdays. You're not in any of them. Not even the ones you remember being in. On the mantle, there's a small frame with space for 5 kids. Only 4 are pictured. You ask carefully, didn't you have another child? Your mother's expression clouds over. I don't think so, she says. Why would you ask that? You excuse yourself. In the hallway mirror, your reflection is gone, not distorted, just absent, like the light passes through you now. Historians still argue whether early folklore about changelings was really about stolen identities or undiagnosed illness. Some suggest it was a way to explain sudden shifts in behavior. Others believe it was something more literal, stories passed down to protect people from those who weren't quite themselves anymore. Back in your car, your phone buzzes. A new message. I remember you. Come back to the DMV. You open the ID again. It's updated itself. The photo is different now. Still you, but older. And your name, the new one, written in clean serif font. Below it, something else. Next renewal. Never. You don't go home. You don't go back to work. You drive to the DMV again. And the seat is still warm where you sat the first time. Only this time, you're not alone. He's waiting, clipboard in hand. He smiles. You don't sit down. You stand in the doorway frozen as the same fluorescent lights flicker overhead and the same bored clerk taps at her keyboard. The room hums like a beehive, low and constant. People are scattered throughout the waiting area, but their faces blur details, softening the moment you try to focus. Only he is clear. The man who eats names. He's seated in chair B17. Your chair, clipboard resting on his knees. Shoes too clean, jacket too dry, and eyes, those cold, spoon-reflective eyes, watching you like a butcher, eyeing a perfect cut. You try to speak, but your name catches in your throat. Not because you're afraid, not just that, but because you don't remember it, not fully. You reach for it the way you might reach for a dream the second you wake, fumbling and half blind, only grasping fragments. The man smiles, just a curl of one corner of his mouth. He pats the seat next to him. No one else reacts. It's like this moment is sealed off soundproofed. You sit. You don't know why. You just do. It feels like an agreement unspoken and old. Older than this building. Older than the city. Maybe older than even you. Why me, you ask? Your voice sounds like it's coming from a hallway, distant echoing. He flips the clipboard, shows you the list again. Only this time it's much shorter. Just a dozen names, all crossed out. Except the last one. Yours, the new one. But beside it, in a red tight scrawl, finalization pending. I didn't agree to this, you say. His head tilts. He doesn't speak with his mouth. Not exactly. But the words form anyway, just behind your eyes. You answered twice. You shudder. You remember now, vaguely. That day at the DMV, your number was called. You stood up, said your name to the clerk, and muttered it again under your breath to yourself. Just once, out of habit. But that was enough. He saw you. He heard you. And now, he owns the shape of you. You try to leave, but your body won't move. It's like the seat has grown vines. Not real ones, psychic ones. Roots twisting through your spine, pinning you down gently like fingers pressing on a piano key. The clipboard is in your lap now. You don't remember taking it, but your name is still there. And underneath it, new lines appear in ink that forms without writing. Once spoken twice, the echo remains. The echo becomes the form. The form becomes the food. You stare, and slowly the handwriting morphs until matches your own. You drop the clipboard. It vanishes before it hits the ground. The man stands, and so do you. But it's not voluntary. You move with him. Exactly. Synchronized. Like puppets controlled by the same strings. He walks toward the counter. You follow. He places a hand on the scanner. You do the same. The clerk doesn't look up, but the screen flashes identity update complete. Historians still argue whether ancient government rituals, what we now think of as mundane bureaucracy, were once used for binding spirits. Early records from Sumer mention soul seals and name registries as means of trapping entities in human flesh. Others say it wasn't a trap. It was an invitation. You run, not in the building, out of it. Out the glass doors and into the parking lot, blinking in the too bright afternoon light. It feels wrong. The sun is hot, but you're cold. You rush to your car. It's there, but the plates have changed. Inside, your registration lists a new owner, your name. But not yourself. Even the scent is off, like pine and paper. Not your usual fast food and air freshener. You check the rearview mirror. Your reflection smiles before you do. And when you blink, it keeps smiling. You tear your eyes away. Drive. Faster than you should. No destination. Just motion. Because maybe if you go fast enough, you'll outrun him. Outrun yourself. Outrun the name. But the roads are unfamiliar, even though you've lived here for years. Street signs don't look quite right. Landmarks are almost real. Your GPS says turn left on return. You shut it off. You stop at a gas station you don't remember existing. And when you ask the cashier for your usual cigarettes, he stares. We don't sell those, he says, never have. You turn to go, and there's a bulletin board by the door. On it, a dozen missing person flyers, some fresh, some decades old, all with the same note scrawled in red across them. Name unknown. One flyer is blank. No face, no text, just a space where you should be. You back away, out the door, into the darkening sky, and the clouds above. They start with normal thing in the world. Room 9. You double lock the door, pull the curtains shut. Inside the room is outdated, but clean. A hum from the mini fridge. A dusty Bible in the drawer. A mirror nailed to the opposite wall. Too big, too tall. Stretching from floor to ceiling like it was never meant to reflect, only observe. You avoid it. You sleep in bursts. 10 minutes here, 20 there. Every time you drift off, you dream of the line. Endless people standing under white lights, waiting patiently, while names are called killed one by one. Except they aren't looking forward. They're looking at you, and their faces aren't angry. They're relieved, as if they were glad someone else was next. You waken sweat heart thundering like hooves, and then there's a knock on the motel door. Not frantic, just patient. You check the peephole. Nothing. But when you open it, stupid, you know you find a small cardboard box left on the doormat. No return address. No writing. You bring it inside, hands shaking. Open it. Inside a name tag. The sticker kind, white with a red border. Sharpie letters. Hello, my name is, and your real name. Your name written in perfect childhood handwriting. You stagger back. You haven't seen that version of your name in years. Not since school days signing spelling tests and birthday cards. The letters curve the way you used to write them, loops and all. You touch it and feel warmth. Then something sharp. The cardboard shifts. There's something underneath the name tag. A second layer. You peel it back. It's a mirror shard. Triangular. Clean-edged. Wrapped in old gauze. You see your eye reflected in it. But just for a flash, it blinks twice. You scream. Drop it. The shard lands face down. And when you flip it over again, there's no reflection. Just a blank surface sucking in light. You turn to the motel mirror, the big one. You can't help yourself. This time you do look. And what you see, it's you, but thinner. Taller. Skin tight over bones like wax stretched too far. The clothes match. The posture matches. But it's not you. The mouth doesn't move when yours does. It smiles on its own. And it whispers. You don't hear it. You feel it. The name. The wrong name. Growing louder. Louder. Until it's the only thing inside your head. You throw a towel over the mirror. You smash the shard. You tear the name tag in half. But it doesn't matter. Because you know now. He didn't just steal your name. He left something else in return. A placeholder. A shape. A name-shaped virus. And it's growing. Folklore from South America describes a phenomenon called El Silenciador, a being who removes names from memory to make space for himself. Victims begin forgetting small things, then their own faces, then their roles in their families. Eventually, they're replaced by a version that's always been part of the community, and no one questions it. Your phone buzzes. It's a video. No contact name, no file name, just an icon, a red spiral. You press play. It shows your bedroom, back home, shot from your perspective. Someone enters the room, your mom, maybe, or a roommate, a partner. They say your name, and the person in bed, it's you. But not the you holding the phone. The one in the video smiles, nods, and says yeah. Their voice matches yours exactly. Too exactly. Then the camera pans and points at the mirror, and you are in it, watching. Mouth open, screaming soundlessly. The video ends. Your phone won't turn off now. The screen is stuck, looping the spiral. And outside your motel room, another knock. This time more confident. You whisper your name. To yourself, to fight back. But it doesn't feel like armor anymore. It feels like bait. You don't answer the door this time. You sit frozen on the edge of the motel bed, staring at the base of the door, where the light from the hallway bleeds in, except it's not white now. It's reddish. faint and warm like something burning far away. The knock comes again. Still gentle, still patient. You whisper your name again, just to yourself, over and over. But every repetition feels like it's slipping through your fingers. The syllables lose weight. The vowels change pitch. It's like listening to a song you used to love, but now only remember the melody halfway. You remember what the voice said. He collects the ones who answer twice. How many times have you said it now? Too many. Not enough. You cover your ears. The knocking stops. You don't relax. You can't. Because now you hear something else. From the mirror. Not knocking. Scratching. Long, drawn-out strokes like fingernails against glass. You walk toward it slowly. Not because you want to, but because something in your chest is pulling you. Magnetized. The towel you threw over it earlier is gone. You didn't hear it fall. You didn't see it move. But the mirror is uncovered now. And your reflection isn't standing. It's sitting on the bed, where you just were, watching you. Tilted head. One hand slowly dragging a fingertip across the inside of the mirror surface, producing that awful, delicate scratching sound. You speak again. You try another name. A nickname. A middle name. Anything to disrupt the rhythm. But nothing changes. Your reflection just smiles wider and taps the mirror twice. You step back, trip, land hard on your palms. You hear footsteps, not in the hallway, in the room. You scramble up, but it's still empty, still only you. You check the mirror. Your reflection is gone, not changed, not distorted, just missing. It's not reflecting anything now, not the bed, not the window, not you. Like it's become a window into another room entirely. You slam the closet door shut, block the mirror with furniture. You shove the mini fridge in front of it. Hear something behind the glass, groan with disappointment. Then silence, for hours. Maybe. Time doesn't move normally anymore. Your phone no longer displays the time. Just that spiral, spinning endlessly. You go to the bathroom to splash your face. The faucet turns, but nothing comes out. Instead, a voice bubbles up through the drain. Yours, saying your name, over and over. Only it's not you saying it. It's the voice from the video. The you in bed. The one that answered. The one who was chosen. You pack. Whatever you have, it's not enough. You get in your car. Drive. Try to reach out. Call someone. Anyone. But your contact list is empty. And your GPS keeps rerouting you. No matter what address you type, the screen flashes the same thing. Return to point of entry. You ignore it. Drive blind. Let instinct take over. You end up somewhere rural. Trees everywhere. No street lights. You pull over. Step out. And suddenly everything is quiet. Not peaceful quiet. Heavy quiet. Like the sound has been turned off. Even your footsteps don't crunch on the gravel. The trees sway, but the leaves make no noise. It feels like being underwater, and ahead of you, a building. Familiar. Too familiar. The DMV. But in the middle of the woods, you try to back away, but the car is gone. No sound of it leaving. No engine. Just gone. You turn, and the doors open. Light spills out, and he's standing there. The man who eats names. Holding the clipboard again. No smile now. Just calm. He extends it toward you. And at the top, there's only one line left. A child, someone you love, saying your true name. One last time, you drop the pen and run. You don't look back. You don't breathe right. You just run into the trees away from that impossible DMV glowing like a lantern in the woods. Branches claw at your arms. Thorns scrape your shins, but you don't stop because something's behind you now. Not footsteps, not exactly, but a rhythm. Like someone turning pages, rapidly tearing them out as they go. Each rip closer. Each one faster. You trip, fall hard into mud. You scramble back up, breath ragged, and there's a shape ahead. A wooden shack, tiny, half-rotted, but it's something. You throw yourself at the door. It creaks open reluctantly, like even the structure doesn't want to be involved. Inside it smells like dust pine and paper, stacks of it, lining the walls. Names, thousands, written in different hands, different inks, different languages. Each page pinned up like butterfly specimens. Some glow faintly, some flicker, some are crumbling to ash even as you look at them. You touch one near the entrance, your name, the one you grew up with. It shivers under your fingers like it recognizes you, but beside it, another version, your name rewritten, letters reversed, spelled phonetically, like someone tried to copy it from memory and failed. It's pinned higher and glowing stronger. You realize horrified. Each of these names, they're all you, different versions, some nearly right, some impossibly wrong, all trying to overwrite the original, all winning. The man who eats names doesn't always devour you whole. Sometimes he just edits, just enough to erase who you were and replace you with someone close enough. And no one notices, because you still laugh the same way, still smile on cue. But you're not you, not anymore. You pull every version of your name off the wall, rip them down, shout your true name with every tear, until the room is a snowstorm of paper and dust, until your voice breaks. And that's when you feel it, a tug in your gut, like something loosening, a thread snapping, the page with your real name. The real one drifts to the floor. You grab it, hold it tight, and for a moment it's enough. The shack settles, the noise outside fades. You sit panting, and that's when you see the book, not on the wall, on a pedestal in the center. It wasn't there before. You approach it slowly. The pages turn themselves, each one covered in neat red ink. Names, histories, fates. One to param be blank, except for the title, the one who remembered. And then your name, your real name, in your own handwriting, not copied, not echoed, yours. But beneath it, a question appears, written by an invisible hand. Would you like to keep it? Your throat tightens. You don't answer. You just nod. The book closes, and the room died. That's the only way to describe it, like an old house settling after a storm. Historians still debate the origin of true names. Some cultures believed knowing your own real name was power, and knowing someone else's gave you control. Others feared names because they acted as beacons to things that should not know you. The shack begins to collapse, not violently, just fading, boards drifting upward like ash in reverse. You step outside the page clutched in your fist. The forest is still. No glowing DMV. No spiral. Just dawn creeping across the trees, pale and shy. You walk. Hours maybe. No time seems to pass until you see the road again. Civilization. Cars, people. A coffee shop. You enter. Order your drink. The barista asks your name, and you hesitate, just for a breath. Then you give it. The right one. The page in your pocket warms slightly. She writes it down, smiles, and for the first time in what feels like forever, someone says your name back, correctly, no distortion. You sit, sip, almost believe it's over. until you go to the bathroom, wash your hands, glance in the mirror, and see him again. Behind you, grinning, clipboard in hand, and your name crossed out. But beneath it, a new version, different again, and the checkbox beside it. You spin around, but no one's there. The bathroom is empty. Just a beige tiled wall, 2 bright LED lights, and the hum of the fan that buzzes slightly off-key like a dying mosquito. You stare back into the mirror. Your reflection seems normal, but that's the trap, isn't it? Normal is how he hides. You lean closer, watch every twitch, every boob-like movement, until something finally gives it away. You blink first, but your reflection doesn't. It holds eye contact half a second longer, then smirks. Only you didn't. You reel back. A handprint blooms on the mirror from the inside. Pale, long-fingered, damp. It drags downward slow and deliberate, leaving a streak as if someone's breath had fogged the glass. And then, another handprint joins it. Smaller, childlike. You remember that flyer from the gas station, the one that was blank. The name T in the box. The voice from the drain. They weren't separate. They were steps, breadcrumbs. He's not trying to erase you instantly. He's trying to thin you out until the world can no longer support your shape. Until you're nothing but outline, a silhouette someone else can wear. You stumble out of the bathroom, back into the cafe. Your drink is gone. Your seat taken by someone who looks like you. Almost. Hair's too neat. Shirt's too clean. Smiles too wide. They're chatting with the barista. Flirting. Charming. When they say your name, it sounds perfect. Too perfect. You freeze. No one reacts to your presence. The barista waves as the not you walks out the door. And you follow. Because what else can you do? They're you. In your shoes. Your body. But you're the echo now. The nameless. The leftover. Folklore. In parts of Eastern Europe spoke of a being called the doubler. A creature that didn't steal your reflection, but your presence. The longer you looked at it, the more people began forgetting who was real. They say the only way to win was to turn away before it blinked. You follow the doubler down the street, keeping a distance. Your shoes don't make noise anymore. Their steps echo confidently, your walk perfected. They greet people, shake hands, wave, and everyone responds. No one sees you behind them. You try speaking, shouting, screaming your name. Nothing. No one flinches, not even birds. You finally run ahead, cut them off at the next intersection, stand directly in their path. They stop, look at you, and smile like they've known you forever, then lean forward, whisper one word, your name, the right one, and it hits like a... You stagger because it feels too good, like your whole body had forgotten what it was to belong, and suddenly remembered. You gasp, shaken. They walk past, but not before sliding a card into your hand. You look down. It's matte black, no text, until slowly in red ink words form. One of us is not supposed to be here. Would you like to report an anomaly? Yes, but no. Your hand trembles because you're not sure which one you are. Back in your motel room you hide. The card burns in your palm. Not heat, just presence. You try calling your parents. Your voice shakes. Your mom picks up. She says your name, but it's the wrong one again. You correct her. She pauses. You must have the wrong number, she says, and hangs up. You sit on the bed, alone, the card still in your hand. You look at the boxes again. Yes, shout no. What happens if you mark yes? What if you're wrong? What if you're the anomaly? You dig out a pen, but before you can choose, the card disappears, disintegrates like dry leaves. The lights flicker. A figure stands in the corner. The man who eats names. No clipboard. Timer. Just a small box. He sets it on the dresser, then vanishes. Just gone, like someone closing a book. You approach the box. It's wooden. Smooth. Smells like cedar and glue. Inside, one item. A key. Old. Iron. Attached to a tag that reads, "For your file." And below that, your name. Again. Spelled wrong, but close enough to be dangerous. You hold the key for a long time. It's cold, far colder than it should be for something resting in a warm room, and heavy, like it was meant for a lock that doesn't exist anymore. But the tag tied to it, that's what chills you more. Your name just slightly off, wrong vowel. One extra letter. The kind of mistake that makes bureaucrats shrug, but that he would consider close enough to feed on. The label curls at the edges. You flip it over. On the back, basement. Archive room. Drawer 9. There is no archive room in this motel. At least, not one with a basement. You check the floor. Carpeted. No trapdoor, but something's shifted. You look to the mirror, the one you'd blocked earlier. The fridge has moved. You didn't touch it. Did you? The mirror is bare again. Uncovered. And the surface ripples faintly, as though waiting. You don't want to. But you bring the key closer, just to test. The moment the metal touches the glass, the mirror unlocks. It swings open like a door on invisible hinges. Cold air spills out. You step through. It's not a basement. It's a corridor. Endless concrete and humming. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead, flickering with that dying insect rhythm. Rows of metal drawers stretch on either side like morgue lockers, but labeled like file cabinets. You walk past names. Dozens, hundreds, each drawer etched in old typewriter font. Simon Harrow retired. Lena Marsh replaced. Jonah felt reclaimed. Then you see it. You incomplete. Drawer 9. It's slightly ajar. The key is pulsing in your palm now. You slip it in. Turn. The lock clicks and the drawer rolls out on its own. Inside, a file folder. Manila. Thick. A little damp at the edges. You open it. Inside clippings. Tannings. Photos of your face, some real, some clearly not. Drawings. Napkin sketches. A school photo you don't remember ever posing for. A list of every known variation of your name written in dozens of languages, crossed out or highlighted. One photo stands out. It's a picture of you, but older, at least 20 years, graying. Eyes sunken. Smiling like someone who's accepted a terrible job. On the back, someone wrote in red ink, "Future placeholder. Awaiting synchronization." You shove the file closed, but there's one more item tucked behind it. A cassette tape, labeled voice pattern. True. And beneath that, do not play twice. In 1973, a linguistics researcher named Dr. Hal Brinley theorized that a person's true name could be embedded in the frequency of their spoken voice, specifically in their pronunciation of their own identity. He vanished a year later, and his tapes were seized by a now-defunct government bureau. All known recordings have since been scrubbed. You pocket the tape. There's no player here, no way to use it. But you feel it vibrate faintly against your leg as you walk back up the corridor, your own breath fogging in the freezing air. At the end, the mirror waits. Open. You step back through, back into your motel room, but the key is gone now. So is the tag and the box. You sit on the bed, exhausted. You check the mirror, this time. Your reflection is there. And it matches. You wave. It waves. You smile. It smiles. You whisper your name. And the reflection mouths it with you. Perfectly. Exactly. For the first time in what feels like forever. You think maybe you've won. Until you blink. And your reflection doesn't. You blink again. Hard. This time your reflection does blink with you, but it's not simultaneous. There's a delay, half a second, just enough to make your skin crawl. You stand slowly watching, testing. Raise your left hand. Your reflection raises its right, mirrored. Normal. Then it lowers the hand before you do, just slightly, just enough. You step back. Whatever's in that mirror, it's not copying anymore. It's guessing, and it's getting better at it. You close the curtain over the mirror, pin it tight, but you can still feel it watching from the other side. That presence, that sense that someone is standing an inch from your face, just behind the veil. You turn away, sit on the edge of the bed. Your hands are shaking again. The cassette tape hums faintly in your pocket. You don't have a player, but you know someone who might. You check your phone. No contacts, but you remember the number. Old college friend. Audio nerd. Used to hoard analog gear. You dial. It rings. Then it picks up. But the voice on the other end isn't his. It's yours. From before. Like a voicemail you forgot you recorded. Hey, sorry. I'm not around right now. Leave a message. Then silence. But you didn't leave a message. You just stare at the screen until it times out. And then, your phone buzzer. Incoming voicemail. From the number you just called. You play it. It's static at first. Then, your own voice. Softer. More tired. Like it's further away. He's almost done with you. A pause. There's still a way out. But it won't feel like winning. You have to do something he doesn't expect. You have to forget your name. You drop the phone, because suddenly it makes sense. He's been building a profile of you. Every version, every variation, every misspelling and nickname. He's not just eating your name, he's mapping your identity. And once he has all of it, you're gone. No trace, no resistance, just another echo in his file cabinet. Unless you destroy the pattern. Folklore in the Scottish Highlands warns of creatures called nameless men. Spirits who wander until they find a human with an unstable sense of self. They don't attack. They wait until the person loses track of who they are. Then they slip in and wear their life like a glove. You pace the room, muttering random names, names that aren't yours. Song lyrics, movie characters, childhood pets, trying to confuse the rhythm, trying to throw off the scent. You pull out the notebook again, write my name is at the top of the page, then fill it with falsehoods, one after another. Anything to blur the line, anything to make yourself unreadable. You rip the pages out, scatter them, flush them, burn them in the bathroom sink, and for a moment, the mirror hisses, a low, wet sound like something boiling inside the wall. You step closer. The curtain flutters, but there's no breeze. And then, a crack splits the glass. Hairline. Vertical. A fracture running down the center of the mirror. You exhale. Hope maybe. A sign that this is working. Until the crack smiles. No, really. It widens just slightly. And from behind the mirror, two pale fingers slip through the break, followed by a second pair, and then a wrist. You run, out of the motel room, into the hallway. You don't stop to see what's coming, because you already know. He's inside the reflection now. And the thing about reflections, they're everywhere. You burst out of the motel into the morning light. The world is too bright, too quiet. Not peaceful, sterile, as if the sun has been repainted slightly wrong. No cars pass on the road, no birds, no wind. Even your own breath sounds like it's muffled behind glass, because maybe it is. You glance at the car windows. The side mirrors the puddle near the curb and see him. Everywhere, in every reflection, each image frozen mid-step. Not moving, just watching. Each one slightly off, his limbs longer than yours, his eyes black or missing. his smile just a line too wide. You run, again, because you don't know what else to do. Every store window you pass holds a copy of him, each one clearer than the last. And then one reflection steps out, not a metaphor, not a trick. The glass of the bakery window folds open like a book cover, and he steps through. Not fast, just steady. You duck behind the corner. Think fast. What do you do when every surface shows your enemy? You grab a rock, smash the side mirror of a parked car, then another. You pick up a trash bin lid, stainless steel, and hurl it into the window of a salon. Glass showers down. You don't care who hears. You only care about making the world opaque. You're panting, bleeding a little, but it's working. The reflections are shattering. The images are leaving. But then he appears in a new place. Not a mirror, not a surface. He's in the eyes of the people around you. You didn't notice them before. Pedestrians, shop owners, old men sweeping steps, women with strollers. All of them now stop. All of them turn. And all their eyes flash like mirrors just for a second, reflecting you and him, together, side by side. Their mouths move in unison, saying your name, over and over, like a chorus, like a spell. You cover your ears, run again. Back streets, alleyways, no mirrors, no puddles, but it doesn't matter, because the reflections are no longer just images. They're imprints. He's already inside you. There's a ritual from West Africa, part of an ancient oral tradition, that describes a spirit known as the second self. When this being attaches to you, it mimics you until no one can tell the difference. The only way to banish it, they say, is to perform the rite of unnaming, to become truly, intentionally unknown. You need help, real help, not internet forums, not phone calls. You remember the woman from years ago, the one who read fortunes outside that antique shop downtown. She said something once, something about soul ladder and true echoes. You dismissed her then. You don't now. You find her shop. It's still there, tucked between a dry cleaner and a vape store. The windows are dusty. The closed sign hangs sideways. You knock anyway. No answer. You pound harder. The door creaks open, and she's there, older, thinner, but her eyes still hold that strange gleam. Pressing outward, stretching the velvet like wet paper. You sit across from the old woman, palms still bleeding slightly into the bowl of dark water. She reaches for your hand, wraps it in linen, tight and slow. You've been mirrored, she says quietly. Not possessed, not haunted, mirrored. There's a difference. You ask what kind of difference. A ghost needs your body, she explains. A mirror only needs your story. You don't understand. She sees it in your eyes and sighs, then lights another candle, This one short and white marked with a jagged spiral carved down its side. "We have to sever your story," she says, "from him. From the files, from yourself." She opens a drawer and pulls out a small, warped notebook. Inside, page after page of names scribbled, crossed out, rewritten. Some in blood, others in ash. She flips to a blank page. "Write what you remember," she says. "But change it." You blink. "Change it." She nods. More firmly now. "Rewrite your story just enough. If he's memorized your file, you need to corrupt it." Your hands tremble, but you start. You write your name backwards. You shift the age you moved houses. You replace your childhood pet with a made-up one. You lie about your first kiss, your favorite food, your most afraid moment. And as you do, the mirror under the velvet cracks, not a loud shatter, just a quiet pop. Like an egg splitting in cold water, the candle burns faster now, almost like it's feeding on the edits. You keep going. You describe yourself in a different height, different build, left-handed instead of right. Hair color, indigo. You erase everything he's collected, and for the first time since this all began, you feel lighter. The weight in your chest. But not gone, not yet, because the woman's expression has changed. Worried. She leans forward. "He's noticed," she says. "He's adapting." You ask what she means. She places a cracked mirror on the floor, uncovered. Covered. And what you see inside isn't your reflection. It's him, but distorted. His features flickering between versions. Every age you've ever been. Every lie you just wrote. Each one fighting for dominance in his face. "You've infected his pattern," she whispers. Now he's glitching. You don't know if that's good. She doesn't either. Then, the lights in the shop flicker. The candle goes out. The mirror goes black. And from the darkness inside the glass, a hand presses up. Then another. Then, he's halfway through, emerging. The air in the room bends toward him, not wind gravity, like he's become the center of your existence. The woman screams for you to run, but you don't. Instead, you reach into your pocket, pull out the cassette, the one labeled voice pattern true. Do not play twice. You hold it tight, and you realize something. If your voice is the last pure record of who you were, then maybe, just maybe, you can use it to trap him. You shout for the woman to give you a player. She fumbles, pulls one from beneath the floorboards, an old dusty Walkman. You shove in the tape, press play, static. Then, your voice, crisp, clear, speaking your name, one at a time only. The man in the mirror freezes, like a fly. Trapped in amber, he twitches. Cracks run through his skin like lightning across a winter pond. You rewind the tape, just a few seconds, then press play again. Second time, the tape whines, distorts. The air hums with feedback. Your voice, your true voice, now warped, something between human and ridiculous. The man screams, not with sound, but with presence. The lights burst, the mirrors shatter, and in the center of it all, he crumples, like a suit collapsing without a body, just fabric. Pale skin. Dust. Gone. Ancient Babylonian myths tell of a shamu, the name thieves' spirits that mimicked humans so precisely that even the gods were fooled. But if they ever heard their own true name played back, they would disintegrate, trapped between echo and identity. You fall to your knees. The room is spinning. The mirror now shows only you. Just you. You breathe. Once, twice, And for the first time in what feels like forever, the reflection blinks with you. You sit there for a long time. The candles have burned to puddles. The Walkman clicks softly. Tape finished spinning air. The mirror lies in shards around you, and none of them reflect anything. Or just blank silver, like a slate wiped clean. The old woman kneels beside you. She doesn't speak at first, just watches your breathing, your stillness. Eventually, she touches your shoulder. You severed it. She says, most people never get that far. You want to believe it's over. Really, you do. But there's something deep in your chest that still feels loose. Like your insides are hovering half a second behind your bones. You tell her this. She nods slowly. That's the echo, she says. It's what's left behind. A person-shaped absence. It'll follow you for a while, until something else fills the space. You ask if it's dangerous. She hesitates, then shrugs. Sometimes not. Depends on what else is listening. You leave the shop with no mirrors, no tape, no name tag. But the sky feels different, fuller. Not safe exactly, but less hollow. You walk for hours. Back roads, forgotten sidewalks, just moving. Every time you pass a window, you test it. Just a glance. Your reflection returns each time, matching your movements perfectly. You don't smile. Not yet. At a diner, you stop for coffee. The waitress doesn't ask your name, just calls you Han. It's the best thing you've heard in days. You pay in cash. No receipt. No trail. Outside, a bus idles. Destination nowhere you've ever been. You get on. Take a seat at the back. Stare out the window. The mountains roll by. You check your reflection in the glass. Still you. Still right. You exhale. But then, the driver speaks over the intercom. Final stop, Archive District. Your stomach drops. You didn't see that listed. You step off anyway. The bus hisses behind you and rolls away. This part of town is unfamiliar. The streets feel unfinished. Lampposts flicker, but never go dark. Signs are posted in languages you almost recognize, but can't quite read. And there, at the end of the street, stands a building, modern, stark, quiet. Above the door, 3 letters carved in stone. DMV. You want to laugh, want to scream. You were so sure you escaped, so sure you destroyed the file. But maybe that was only one file. You hesitate, then enter. The interior is not the same. This one smells of toner and dust. It's clean, well lit, benign. But the woman at the desk doesn't look up. She's typing. Fast. Too fast. You approach. She slides a form toward you without making eye contact. Name, she says. You say nothing. She finally looks up. And her eyes, they're mirrors. Small. Cold. Perfect. You can't noise. And in the windows around you, the reflections start to fail. They flicker, distort, burn out. You hear a scream not from outside but inside, your echo losing grip. You press your palms to the glass of a nearby window, look yourself dead in the eye, and say, "I'm not yours, and I never was." The mirror cracks, then shatters, and with it, so does the last trace of him. The street is silent again. For the first time in what feels like weeks, it's a real silence, not the hollow mirrored hush you've grown used to. The light is golden now, late afternoon, maybe early morning. You've lost track of time, but that doesn't bother you anymore. Time only matters to someone with a file, with a name, with an assigned place. You sit down on a bench near the corner where the fake DMV used to be. It's gone now, just empty pavement, as if it never existed. You pull out your phone, no signal, no contacts, no apps, just a blank screen. You whisper your name. Not the real one, not the new one, just one. You make up on the spot, and it feels safe. You chuckle to yourself, a dry, cracked sound. You're tired, mundane. But something about that laugh still rings with life. You stand, walk again. Everything around you looks the same: buildings, trees, people. But you've changed, and that means they can't find you the same way anymore. You pass a shop window. This time you don't check for your reflection. You keep walking, no need to verify. Because here's the thing. No one tells you about losing yourself. Once you've been erased, you can write yourself new. There's a Sufi parable of a man who carved away his identity, piece by piece, until he was nothing but silence. The world, confused, moved on. But in the quiet, the man found he could slip between cracks no one else saw, and in doing so, became uncatchable. A week passes, maybe more. You sleep on trains, in park benches, in motels with no mirrors and no names on the keys. You meet people who call you pal, boss, stranger. You answer to all of them. The dreams change. No longer looping corridors or mirror hands reaching through glass. Now they're different, quieter, still eerie, sure, but yours. You keep the notebook close, the one the woman gave you. You fill it with new memories, false ones, or maybe not. You can't tell anymore, but they're real to you. In one, you were born in a house with no doors. In another, you lived your whole life underwater, and no one noticed. You write about the sky that sometimes turns inside out, the people who don't blink, the hands that clap from the wrong side of the wall. You make yourself strange, unusable, too contradictory to file, too fluid to reflect. And that's when it happens. One day, while sipping tea in a quiet village square, an envelope slides under your saucer. You didn't see who left it. No name on the front, just a wax seal. You open it. Inside, a single sentence written in that familiar red ink. "We are unable to process your identity at this time." And below that, status unclassifiable. Interference terminated. You laugh, this time louder, because you know what it means. He gave up. You are no longer useful to him. You are noise. Glorious, unfiled, unnameable noise. You sip your tea. And when you catch your reflection in the spoon, it smiles, but only when you do. You walk with a new rhythm now, not cautious, not hunted, just quiet, liminal. You don't avoid mirrors anymore, but you don't seek them either. They're like old classmates you nod, if you pass them. But there's no reason to stop and talk. You live in motion, a borrowed coat. A train to nowhere. Breakfast from street vendors who call you by whatever name's on your receipt. No one gets it right, and that's perfect. One night you find yourself at a roadside inn with no sign. It's too quiet to be a business, but they let you stay anyway. No paperwork, just a key and a nod. Room 9. There's a mirror above the sink, but it's fogged from a leak in the ceiling. Or maybe it's always been that way. You leave it alone. Sleep comes quickly now. Not peaceful exactly, but less sharp around the edges. Your dreams are full of strange architecture and people who speak in riddles, but they never say your name, not even once. In the morning, someone has slid a folded paper under your door. No handwriting, just symbols. You stare at it for a long while, but don't open it. Instead, you pack, leave a cup of coins on the windowsill, and walk into the fog. No trail, no story, no name. In obscure Welsh folklore, there's a spirit called Ir Unheb Enwe, the one without a name. It travels in human skin, but carries no past, no future, only the present moment. People who meet it forget it instantly. It is both hunter and escapee. Some say it began as a person who erased himself so thoroughly that even death couldn't find him. You keep moving. Every town gives you a different version of yourself. The longer you stay unfiled, the more you start to believe that maybe, just maybe, this is freedom. It's not clean, it's not safe. But it's yours, and he hasn't come back. Not once. And if he does, you're ready. Not because you have a weapon, but because you've become one. A blur in the archive, a smudge in the file, a ghost with no reflection, a name that never lands, a puzzle with the corner pieces torn off. Some nights you still dream of him, standing at the bridge, holding the clipboard, his eyes like mirrors. But you wake up with no name in your mouth, and he can't find what you won't say. Word count 1, knife. Win down 300 words. The fog rolls in again. Soft. Slow. Familiar. You find yourself walking a forest path, with no destination, just the rhythm of your steps, and the hush of wind through the trees. Your breath moves in and out steady now. Unrushed. There are no names here, no reflections, no files to sort or fact. Patterns to follow, just you and the quiet. Somewhere in the distance, water trickles over stone. You pause. Let your fingers brush the bark of a tree. Rough. Real. The sky above shifts to lavender, then deep blue, then stars. And even they don't call you anything. They just shine. Your heartbeat slows. The world softens. Whatever echo once followed you has fallen silent. Lost in the underbrush, unable to track a shape that's always changing. You lie down in the moss, close your eyes, let go of the file, the name, the face, the fear. In this place, nothing needs to be defined, only felt, only breathed. And as you drift off, something in the earth hums gently beneath you, like it's singing you home. Sleep now. You've slipped between the pages, and there's no one left to write you back in. End of script. Sweet dreams.